My name is Adrian Nanchev, and this channel is all about helping you become a remarkable entrepreneur. And this is the second video in the playlist of 101 entrepreneur mistakes and lessons that I have made. And the second one is that I created content blindly. In March of 2016, I was inspired to write my first book, and I finished it October. In fact, I started it on the 1st of April and I finished it on the 31st of October 2016. My first book was about psychology and marketing. It took a little while to write and did a lot of research. Thankfully, I'm glad I wrote that one first because it was quite a research-based one. It took a lot of time to reference and really think up ideas. And all the ones after that, all the books I've written after that, were more or less based on experiences and stories and lessons that I've learned. Now, when I wrote that book, shortly afterwards I was inspired, come New Year's of 2016-17, I was inspired to write more and more books. And in fact, the New Year's time, I got a little bit carried away with writing different kinds of books, and I created a whole variety of books on different topics to do with business and marketing and entrepreneurship and psychology, and even one book on economics. Now, the problem with writing all these books for the first 3 or 4 months of 2017 is that I created them all without doing any research as to who the target audience was and whether or not people would want to buy them, and to see if there was any pre-existing demand for these kind of books. Generally speaking, there are, but they were too far-fetched or too few and far between, or maybe I was too much of an unknown author for them to be taken seriously or to make a significant impact when they were published. Now, you see, there are two kinds of foundations that a business can be built on. Either existing demand or creating the demand. An existing demand will be starting like a supermarket because you know that people already want to buy bread, milk, sugar, and other daily groceries and other daily conveniences. Whereas creating demand will be something like starting Apple, where you know that people will be better off using computers. You've just got to persuade people that they have that need and the demand to use computers, and then you serve them the computers that they are demanding. So it's either fulfilling a demand or creating the demand. Now the problem with these books is that I did neither, and the harder one is creating the demand, because from day one people don't know they want your product. And that is what I'm trying to do. And as a side note, and I believe that is much more rewarding, because who do you know more and who do you recognise more? Steve Jobs or Sam Walton? Steve Jobs started Apple and gave the world a personal computer, arguably, and Sam Walton started Walmart, one of the biggest retail chains in the world, and has the Walmart family, but no one really knows about them. So in the history books, in the grand scheme of things, people remember Steve Jobs more. But that's a slight digression. I jumped straight in and didn't look at the pre-existing demand, or looked at my strategy for creating demand for the products that I will write, for the books that I was writing. So the mistake is I didn't see the potential demand that people wanted, or had no plan on how to create the demand. That's the dilemma. That's the second mistake that I made in 101 mistakes, and there's 99 more to go. So I've got a lot of recording. So look always for existing demand. When you're investing in businesses or starting a business, an easy way, a bit of a cop-out, is to find existing demand and serve it. The problem with this is you've got to really differentiate yourself from the competition, so as for the customers to buy from you and to achieve market share, which generally speaking can be quite hard, because there are two kinds of businesses. There's a commodity business and a brand-based business. If you go for a commodity business, it's a race to the bottom. It's Walmart, it's Asda, it's Tesco's, it's who can be the cheapest. You can do all the marketing in the world, and someone comes along and prices this exact same product 10% cheaper, then your entire competitive advantage is gone. It's a commodity, it's a race to the bottom. Now in economics, slight digression, economics, that's a good thing, because it's all about making things cheaper and cheaper, increasing productivity and making standard of living higher and higher. But that's a slight digression, that's more economics. But the opposite is a brand business, and a brand business is people respect and love your intellectual property, and the feeling from the brand, from having the brand and from the marketing advertising, that they will pay more. It's a race to the top. They will pay more for what you give, that no one else can give the exact same feeling. This is why when you have people with a MacBook, you think they have a different persona, a different feeling than when people with, say, most Windows computers. And this is why people will go out their way to buy Chanel No. 5 or buy Gucci handbags, because they want that persona that only that business, that product can give them. Or why people have a Porsche, because they will want that persona, that feeling that not much or few else products can give them. So, but I had no strategy for doing either of these. I had no strategy for recognising existing demand, or no strategy and plan for creating the demand. And that's the dilemma. I created content, I wrote books blindly. That's the second lesson of 101 mistakes. Check out the playlist. There's another 100 videos out there. But if this is your first time to the channel, subscribe, because this channel is all about helping you become a remarkable entrepreneur, and I'm grateful for playing a small part in that. So subscribe, and you will see me again soon. How cool is that?